What up, Wolfpack? It's the Yungavelle here, back at it with another video. You see the gang here? You see the gang? That's Hanumanji right there. And of course, me, the GOAT. So, yeah, I want to continue on with this 13 Virtues series. It's been a while since I did the last one because there's been so much other things that I wanted to share with you guys, but I definitely want to continue this because it's just fitting. It's fitting. It's high quality stuff, and it's stuff that I think you guys should know about. So this topic is definitely, or this virtue is interesting because we all know about it. We all have heard about it many times, and it is the virtue of moderation. So if you guys are just tuning in for the first time in this series, what I'm doing is a 13-part series on the 13 virtues of Benjamin Franklin, because I was talking to one of my older bros who I kind of look to as a mentor, and we were talking in dialogue one day, and he mentioned industry. He was like, yeah, man, I'm always engaged in industry. And I was like, what do you mean industry? And he was like, that's one of the 13 virtues of Ben Franklin. And he was like, these 13 virtues are not just virtues, they're actually entities. They're actually angels or spirits, energies that you can call on to work with. And it kind of blew my mind, like, that kind of makes sense. Either in word, like calling them in word, or embodying them in action. And that was very interesting because he's very close to like the spiritual platform, at least in my eyes. And that was cool. So, moderation. Now, this is what Ben Franklin said about moderation. He said, and listen to this verbiage is so coded. Avoid extremes. Forbear resenting injuries so much as you think they deserve. Now, let me put that in layman's terms. Avoid extremes. This as simple as that. And he's basically saying hold back on being upset at the things that happen to you that are not that might cause you distress. And this made me think of the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is one of the quintessential, if not the quintessential teaching in the Hindu literature, the Vedic literature. You know, if you guys don't know, I had profound ayahuasca experiences, and one of my visions was Ganesha, and I was never into, Ganesha's the elephant, I was never into Hindu or anything like that. So when I came back, I dove into the Vedic literature just by happenstance. So it showed me that the medicine was kind of leading me towards a direction that it had a profound impact on my life. You know, a profound impact on my life. And I've said many times Lord Shiva's prayers to God, Krishna, where he mentions, God, you are the possessor of semen, which is like gold, which is why I have Shiva tatted right there. And, you know, I was on NoFap, so it was just like, man, this is a crazy kind of synchronicity. And so one of the things that the Bhagavad Gita said that always stuck out to me was, O son of Kunti, this is God, Krishna, speaking to the Arjuna who's on the battlefield. O son of Kunti, because Arjuna is like, I'm not going to fight my family that's on the other side, because there was a war that was happening and his uncles and cousins and grandpas were on the other side. And he had to engage in war with them. But Krishna was on his side because God took birth as Krishna, and that was Arjuna's cousin. That was the warrior's cousin. So God is saying, O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, O scion of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. So, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. So this is basically saying that avoid the extremes of being, this is a spiritual teaching, so it is basically outlining the spiritual way of being equipoised in every situation, knowing, and the wisdom behind that is because these things pass. You know, like Buddhism says, non-permanence is a way of reality, which is why Buddha was like, attachment is the root of all suffering, because things are constantly changing, right? So this is basically alluding to be steady in extremes. So let's say you have an amazing day, right? You have everything's falling, everything's great, and you're all up on that side where you're like, man, my life is amazing. This is the best. This is the best day ever. Like super on the extreme with the happiness. And then, so the flip will be when you step out of that, and when distress comes, because you know it will come, because this is life. When those things come, you will feel the disparity of how far that was from your happiness extreme. You will be very cognizant of that disparity. So a way of getting ahead of that is, even when things are really good, you remain steady. Not saying don't be grateful, but just saying be in that place where it's like, this is like, I remember what it was like to not have this. You know, so I'm not going to get so overly excited. You know, like, you know, women hit my phone up, right? And old me would be like, whoa, wow, let me text everyone right away. New me is like, I remember what it was like to just still be by myself, you know, phone dry. I'd rather stay there. Let me stay there. I'm steady. I'm obviously still whatever, engaging and being a human and being regular, being nice and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not allowing my emotional states to be dictated by the outside world. Which is why this is a spiritual teaching, because it's basically saying, remain in yourself. Remain steady within yourself, because you are the cause of your state. You are the cause of your state. You are the guiding force of your state of being. So don't get too lost in the outside world. Which is why Ben Franklin was like, moderation is most definitely a virtue that people have to master in their life. We can all easily see the downfall of being to the negative of extremes, you know, where you develop addictions and your life just falls apart because you are on the negative side of the extreme. But people don't often recognize the positive extremes, like the feeling, I want to feel good all the time extremes. You know, those states of mind, and how easily you can step away from that and be in the middle point. You know, be in the middle point and just, you know, be with life. Enjoy the things when they come. When the distress comes, know that it will pass, but, you know, stay with it. Know that it will pass. It's just like the seasons. Summer season comes, winter season goes, just like the Bhagavad Gita was saying. Happiness will come and it will go. Distress will come and it will go. You will remain. So stay with yourself. Stay with yourself no matter the circumstance. That's kind of the wisdom that's being imbued here in these passages. So remain steady and know that you are the cause of your circumstances. You are the cause of your state of being. Your state of being is paramount, and it's something that you need to be aware of, and you need to really develop a relationship with, even though it's you. But, you know, we tend to have certain relationships with other aspects of ourselves more so than others. Like, we have a strong relationship with the thinking side of ourselves, with our rational mind. And I was speaking on this in my I Am a Multimillionaire video, where our being reveals things to us. There's an aspect of thought that is revelatory in nature, as opposed to thinking and planning in nature. There is one that is, there's an aspect that's revelatory, where it comes from your beingness. And oftentimes we just discard those things because we're so locked up in, I didn't think that. That wasn't like, I didn't manually think that. So I'm just gonna discard it, or I'm not gonna write it down, or whatever the case. The point is that your beingness is speaking to you. You need to become aware of that relationship. You need to become aware of that relationship. That's something new that I'm practicing, sitting quietly. And now I understand why meditation is so pushed, in the spiritual communities and just path, because meditation is attention. And when you're just being attentive, you allow that revelatory aspect of yourself to start to become more of a thing. And that's fire, because this is the insight part of you. This is the creative part of you. This is the part of you that receives the downloads from the higher spheres of intelligence, whether they be the higher aspects of you, the Supreme itself, other entities that are positive, whatever the case may be. You are now in a space where you can receive that information. So it all makes sense. And I'm just starting now to really give credence to the revelatory aspect of myself, and it's pretty dope. So with that being said, you guys enjoy the rest of your day / night, whatever time you're watching this video. You see the merch, you know what I'm saying? Awakened Alpha merch, you heard? The new moon is coming up this weekend. I believe it's on Friday or Sunday, I forget, but it's coming up this weekend. So back on we've all had a nice little relaxing, you know what I'm saying? Nice ride, the energy of the full moon, of the last full moon. All those new patterns and stuff, and now on into the new moon. So we get to imbue some more energy and play with some more stuff, play with some more intentions. I hope you guys are staying strong. I hope you guys are pursuing your goals. And like I always say, hold on. If you guys got anything from this video, please like it, please comment, please subscribe, hit the notification bell. I am looking to grow my influence in more ways than one, as you guys know. So help me out if I've helped you out with the stuff that I've been sharing. And now, like I always say, guys, remember, until next time, a greater perspective can lead to a greater connection. Peace.